right, continuing here on page 35. When white people died, their slaves would have to pretend to be very sorry. The slaves would spit on their fingers and use it to wet their cheeks like it was tears. They'd do this right in front of the little slave children, and then the children would do the same thing in the presence of the grieving white people. I was glad that I did not live in slavery times, but I knew that conditions of life for my family and me were in some ways not much better than during slavery. I realized that we went to a different school than the white children, and that the school we went to was not as good as theirs. Ours didn't have any glass windows, but instead, we had little wooden shutters. Their windows had glass panes. Some of the white children rode a bus to school. There were no school buses for black children. I remember when we walked to school, and sometimes the bus carrying the white children would come by, and the white children would throw trash out the windows at us. After a while, when we would see the white school bus coming, we would just get off the road and walk in the fields a little bit distant from the road. We did not have any of what they call civil rights back then. So there was no way to protest and nobody to protest to. It was just a matter of survival, like getting off the road so we could exist day to day. So currently, ladies and gents, we've been reading in a perspective of Rosa Parks. So she went back in time telling her story of her family. Okay, then she, moved into the present tense as to what she went through as going to school and how it was different for her versus the white children. Okay, so again, we are reading a personal narrative told in Rosa Parks' story or her perspective. Personal narrative, first person. We will continue talking about this remarkable woman, and the next little short story is still on Rosa Parks in her perspective, talking about her right to vote. Okay, so hopefully you are enjoying it, but again, this is all factual information told in her perspective. So we will meet up soon and continue talking about Rosa Parks.